Okay, carrots. Carrots are super fun to harvest, and there's two different ways we do it. One is we just hand pull them. If the soil is nice and damp and loose, we can hand pull them. If the soil is a little tighter, hasn't been watered in a half a day or so, we have this fork to loosen up the soil. We'll get to that in a second. For now, what we're going to do is look for where the good carrots are. The easiest way to figure out if the carrots are ready is to first sort of just eyeball the plant. Like this foliage is a good foot tall. The root of the plant is just starting to emerge from the soil, and just a little scrape around that will reveal a nice carrot hiding under there.
And that's how you know it's ready?
That's how you know it's ready. It's a good indication on how wide, how thick this the stems are versus like this little guy here. It's kind of still growing. There's no root emerging, and this foliage, the stems of the foliage are really not, they're not broadening out because they're not on top of a big round carrot. On this one, there's a nice big round carrot. Since the soil's loose, I'm just going to gently pull straight up on that carrot so it doesn't break off, and clean off the big part, the big muddy part, and then we're going to wash it back at the washing station. But it can go in the crate just like this, and it's good to go. I'm going to set this over here. Here's an example of a really good sized carrot that we pulled straight out of the ground. It's orange all the way up. There's going to be a little bit of green here. If the green is going down, pretty far, that carrot can mature a little bit longer in the ground. There's just a tiny bit of green here, so this is a good looking carrot. So we're going to do a quick check over here. You can kind of see the green there. A little bit farther down on the carrot. That one can stay in the ground a little bit longer, and it'll size up and continue to grow. So if we're dealing with a little bit harder soil, it's not as loose, we're going to use a fork to loosen it up. And the way we do this is first locate some obviously ripe carrots.
And these need to kind of be in a chunk, right? Because the fork is going to loosen up all of them at once.
Exactly. So let's come down to these guys. I think there's a couple big ones here. I'm just doing this for example. Let's pretend that this guy, we know it's ready, and we want to pull it, but the soil's too tight and we're afraid that we're going to break it off. So we're using the fork instead to loosen the soil up. We're going to move the fork back about 4 inches away from the carrot and press it into the soil, and then gently sort of rock it back so that you can see the soil rising up, and it loosens it, opens it up, and then you can pull that carrot out a lot easier. And again, we're just knocking off the big parts of the big chunks of mud. Makes it easier for the wash crew. This carrot's not real long, but that's okay. It's orange most of the way up. It's nice and fat, and it'll be a good carrot.